So yeah, so that's just the really advice I would give. Show up on time. If you are not able to show up, let me know that you are not, if you are not going to be able to attend or if you are coming late. Um, I'm not going to penalize anybody for that, but I also want you to be accountable because if you are not already in the IT, this is what happens. You gotta be punctual. You know, it's a culture that we need to develop. And also another expectation for the class, our time together, again, it goes back to that culture. We are not just going to be individuals here. This is a place we are going to be networking. So which means anybody that is in this class, see them as a network, collaborate, engage with each other, which means we have to respect each other's time. We have to expect each other's emotions. So what we say in the class, how we say things are all going to matter. Some people, the way they learn is by visual, by seeing things. Some people, the way they learn is by just listening and watching. Some people, the way they learn is by writing. So whatever your own style is, adopt that. But let's have a focus, a mindset of that we are in this group of network, because this is not just going to be, we are going to be together even when you get jobs, even when you do your own thing. This group is going to be there. We're going to be interacting. So we are not coming here to make enemies. We are coming here to make bridges, to make social network, because that's, without social network in IT, you will struggle. You need people. You need people in when you are doing IT. So I'm not going to overemphasize that. The last thing for general expectation is I'm expecting everybody to be adult. So let's behave as adults, please. Do anybody have any question with that?
No.
Okay. And also, like, I want you to ask questions. Feel free to ask questions. Feel free to make contributions. Do external research. Like whatever we talk about, do your own research after the class or even before the class. You have access, you're going to be having access to the materials, which means you can even go ahead of the class. There's no problem with that. I just want us to be mindful and be respectful for other people, their time. Some of us are going to be learning slow. Some of us we are fast learners, and that's okay. There's no wrong way. So if you are someone who asks questions, please ask questions. Let's be mindful when we are asking questions so that we don't take a lot of time, right? Because it's a 3-month class, we have a lot of things to cover. And if we are asking, if when I say something, one or two words, and then there's a question, and then it takes like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, we will not be able to cover the things I have intended for this class. So ask questions. Don't hesitate to ask questions. But let's be respectful of your time, my time, and all your colleagues, their time. So let the questions, if you have a long questions, it's okay. Best practice, write them down. We're going to be leaving. We're going to be either this beginning, we're going to spend maybe the first 15 minutes to respond to questions. And then after maybe the last 10, 15 minutes, we'll respond to questions also. But that does not mean that in the middle, as we are talking, you cannot ask questions, because sometimes you really want to know this now, and it's okay. Let's just be mindful. So those are the general expectation. So for payment, payment is going to be, you guys already know, for all of you that are here, you're aware it's a $2,000 with a 50% discount, which means you only pay 1,000. And then the payment, I'm receiving payments starting today and within the third week. So which means some people have already reached out to me. They've already paid. Some people have paid full. So you have from now to the third week. And the third week of this month, today is the 1st. The third week will be somewhere around like the 15th will be the second week. The 20, I think the 22nd, right? if I'm correct.
Yes.
Is that the 22nd?
22nd.
Yeah. So you have until the 22nd for that will be the last day for payment. So again, what I expect people is you pay maybe 500 from now to next week or the first 2 weeks, just so that you don't want to put all your money and then at the end of the day you feel like, oh, this is not, So if you pay 500 and then after then you pay the next 500 in the third week, that's okay too. If you want to pay in old sum, that's okay too, right? If you pay 500 for the first 2 weeks, and then later on you feel like, within that 2 weeks, you feel like, I really don't want this. This is not what I want. I can refund you back if you want to step out of the class. I'm not asking you guys to join this class because I want to eat your money just like that. It's something that I have passion for IT. I have passion for this thing, you know. So after the 3 months, after the 3 weeks, if you have paid, after the 3 weeks, I will not refund you after the 3 weeks if you don't step out, if you don't drop out, if you decide to continue. If you decide to drop out after the 3 weeks, there will not be any refund, because then you've had access to the materials for 3 weeks. Who knows what you might have done with the materials, right? So I want transparency. Transparency, I'm going to start it myself. Transparency, that's why I'm going to go. I'm really taking my time to explain this. So after 3 weeks, you decide to drop, you are going to forfeit for whatever amount you have paid. Any questions so far about payment? Okay. So that's all about payment. The class overview. So we're going to be looking at AWS, DevOps, Linux, and then Agile methodology. So under some of the other aspects, I condense them into each. So like you will see, like this Linux will be under AWS. This is just a short version of what we are going to be doing. There is a detailed one that I will show you guys. So you see Linux in this slide will be under AWS. And then you see Git and version control probably under this DevOps. But in the classroom here, you will see everything here. So you see AWS, you will see DevOps, you will see Linux, you will see version control, version and source control management, cybersecurity. So these are going to be fundamentals. We're not going to go. I'm not saying that I'm going to give you everything that you need, every nitty-gritty of these things. I'm introducing you to this so that you know what they are, you are able to interact with them, and then you are going to do more further research. And then I'm going to be pointing you guys to like materials, like reliable source materials, wherein you can get more information if you want to learn more. Let's say, for example, you want to do more cybersecurity. I'm going to be pointing you out to materials. But we'll talk about the basic fundamentals like cybersecurity. AWS, we are going to talk about the core infrastructure. So I'm going to go back to the slide. So I think I've only added few people so far for now to the class. So if you are not being added yet, I need payment. Once I get payments for those who have already paid or who have started paying, I will add them to the class. So if you don't see yourself in the class, it's because you've not made any payments yet. So the duration is going to be 12 weeks. It's a 3 months. I don't know if that's I think that's up to 3 months or so. So the final weeks will be dedicated to project. So you guys are going to be doing project, like a capstone project. At the end of the course, this is what you've learned. And so you are going to be doing that project. And that project, just like from the class where I learned the DevOps, at the end of the class, at the end of the program, we do like a project, and then we we do presentation of the project. So during that time, I will invite people who are not member of the class, outside observers. They will come watch you so that you can display your talent, and then they will ask you questions, and then they will give feedback. At that point, it will prepare you so that the purpose of the presentation is to help you to have that confidence to talk about this material. I know for some of you, not all of you, but some of you here, you are new to IT. I get that. So that the presentation will help you to have that confidence that this is what I've learned and I'm confident about this and I know this. So the first month, we are going to be really focusing on AWS, fundamentals, and Linux. So we are going to focus really on AWS and try to touch AWS, like the core infrastructure of AWS. And then, so this month, this can vary depending on how much time we spend, how much information we absorb. If we go through the material really quick, then we can jump into the second month, or maybe we can delay here a little bit because AWS has a lot of things that we need to cover. And then the second month, if everything goes as planned, we'll do DevOps, automation, and CI/CD pipeline, CI/CD. And then, so all this one is all going on file. So you will see like down the slide, I say, this DevOps, I say second to third month. So all this Kubernetes, security, Docker, all will fall under DevOps. So this is how it's going to look like. So the first week, so maybe today or tomorrow, we'll look at the AWS free tier. So you guys are, for those of you who don't have like AWS account, Azu, I know you have AWS account. Jordan, I don't know if you have AWS account. Yeah. So if you don't have, or if you already have.
I don't.
Okay, so we'll do that. We'll go over that. And even if you have AWS account, so for example, Mercy, I know you've been in the class before. As you've been in the class before, those accounts that you have probably passed the free tier. And so which means they are no longer going to be eligible for free tier. So when you use them, you got to be really mindful because AWS will charge you if you are not mindful, if you leave resources just lying around. So to avoid that, you can also create a new AWS. Like I have more than 4 or 5 AWS accounts. AWS doesn't care as long as you are using different email address.
What they keep charging me monthly.
They are charging you monthly, which means you have resources that are lying around that you have not either decommissioned or deleted. So we'll look into that. We'll check that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the first that we'll talk about after we've created the AWS account, we'll look at identity and access management. But before we look at this, under this, I didn't put it here. We are going to look at cost. Like what Azu is saying right now, he didn't know that. And so that's why even though he has taken the class a long time ago, they are still charging him monthly as if he's subscribed. We want to prevent that. So I will show you guys like the billing. That's what we'll do. Probably we'll go over that today. And then we'll go over IAM, which is identity and access management, security. So we'll start with security. We are going to end with security. So this is really going to be, again, I didn't introduce myself. I will do that maybe at the end. Okay. Sorry about that. I just thought about that. And then we'll talk about EC tools, like the basic EC tools, which is the Elastic Compute Cloud. And then we'll talk about networking, talk about storage and networking, which is S3, EBS, EFS. Those are the storage that Amazon has. And then the networking, we'll be looking at VPC, subnet, security group, NAT gateway, load balancing. And then we'll be looking at like all the networking component that AWS, I'll go over that. And then for Linux fundamental, we look at learning what Linux is, user and group management, command line essentials, so like the how to synthesize or how to manipulate commands, either file system or user access. Yeah, so we'll have the file system here and then permission management. So we'll look at that. And then for DevOps, we'll have this automation. So we'll look at automations, and under automation, so DevOps I also put here. So some of these things are AWS, but there are also automations on like Lambda, SQS, SNS, Event Bridge, which is CloudWatch. And then we'll look at like CloudFormation and Terraform. And then we'll look at SAM, which is serverless application modules for AWS. And then we'll look at Ansible, Elastic Beanstalk. So these are all like automation tools. Bash scripting, user data. So we look at those. And then under DevOps, under CI/CD and DevOps pipeline, we have Jenkins, Git, and Terraform. So we'll have Terraform here again. So you see like some of these things are going to repeat because what are some things you do in AWS, you can do them also in DevOps. So SonarQube, Artifactory, JFrog, Slack. And then we'll look at week 6 to 7, we'll look at Docker, which is a containerization, and then orchestration, we'll look at Kubernetes K8, and then AWS EKS. And then for project management, we're going to look at the agile methodology, project lifecycle. So what is the agile methodology? We'll look at the different methodology like waterfall methodology, and then we'll look at the agile, and we'll compare the two. So we'll look at them. So this one probably you have like Microsoft has a project called Microsoft Project, which I put here, and we'll look at those, just how like what the project manager actually see the project, because sometimes we just look at the project, but you don't know like what is happening, like who is managing that project. So we're going to be looking at that, and we look at stakeholder analysis, security and compliance. So again, IAM and security groups, we look at that, and other security stuff that are not mentioned here. And then the wrap up, again, like I said, we'll do our project and so forth and so on. So that's just a brief overview of what's the structure. This is a condensed version. To see like a detailed program overview, so you can look at this here. This one gives you a detailed overview. So it's a 3-hour, and then you have all these things for AWS. You have the things that we're going to cover here. So these are the details. I'm not going to go over these ones. That's why I just condensed that into that other material, but you have access to this. But you can look at this. It's all the things that we're going to cover there here. So just a little bit about myself. So I'm originally from West Africa, just like some of you here from Nigeria. I'm from Sierra Leone. Yeah, I've been in the US for 10 years now, and I've been in IT for the past 5-6 years. I have two master's degree. I have one in IT, in information system security, which I just finished actually. And then I have a master's degree in social work as a clinical social worker. So I have two different, so some of you here are going to be having dual career, and that's perfectly okay because I'm a living example. So I do my therapy work, and then I do my IT stuff. Yeah, so that's a little bit about myself. As far as communication is concerned, we are going to be communicating during the WhatsApp group. But when you are in this class, you also have access to messaging me on the class. So in this class, you'll probably be getting, I don't want to make it as if it's like you are going to like a form, like school, but if we want that, I can create like assignment, like announcement. I can create like an announcement. I will be doing that also, actually, an announcement. I'll be creating an announcement. You're getting like notification from me once you are in the class. And then I can create like quizzes, and then I can ask questions, so once I create these ones, you'll be able to have access, and then you have access to respond to the quizzes and stuff. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. Those quizzes are really for you to get your hands dirty. Something I would really, really say, this class is going to be probably like 80% hands-on, which means for you to be successful in this class, you also have to be willing to do the work. You have to be willing to engage with the work, not just in the class, like right now in live class, but you have to be willing to get your hands dirty. Getting your hands dirty just means that you can come in here, you have access to this material. There are a lot of materials I'm going to be putting here, like Terraform, CLI, all these kind of things. So you're going to be having all access to this. You don't have to wait for me to go through any of this. I want you to be eager and anxious to learn this, to absorb this information. That's the only reason why I'm here teaching you guys. Because when I started this a few years back, I was angry and anxious, like to learn it. Not like anxious, like clinically anxious, but like I really wanted to learn the information. And so I immersed myself into it. This is for some of you, it's a new career, which means you are moving, or you are not moving, you are not living what you are doing, but it's like you learning a new language. For you to be able to like really understand that new language, you have to immerse yourself in it. You can go to school and learn German, but you can learn and become fluent into German if you live in Germany, or if you are exposed to a German. Let's say you have a spouse who is a German, or let's say Asian, or let's say Mende, which is my tribe, or Igbo, or Yoruba, or whatever you may think. If you immerse yourself into that particular language, eventually you don't need to know the linguistics, you don't need to know like the technicality, but you will learn it. That's the same thing also. I'm making that comparison with this, what we are going to be doing here. This is not a play. This is your career. This is, at the end of the day, you want people to give you, to hire you and pay you 6-figure. You got to put in the work first. Please, guys, I'm going to be here I'm going to be with you throughout this journey. If you don't understand anything, if you have questions, I want you to, Google is your friend. I watch tons. If you watch my profile, I have a lot, my majority of my profile is on IT. Like when you look at my Google history, if you look at my my YouTube history, it's entirely IT, because every day I'm watching videos just to learn. And the other thing I want to mention also, I don't know everything. So I don't want you guys to come here with the notion that, oh, Daniel knows everything. So when I have asked this question, he's going to respond. I don't. I'm going to make sure that when you ask questions, if I don't know it, then we figure it out together. Okay? Solomon is going to be here. Solomon, I'm going to give you a few minutes. I don't know if you are okay right now to just maybe give a little bit. I want them to know you, who you are, because Solomon is a co-facilitator. So he's helping in this class. So Solomon, do you want to say brief?
Okay, that's sure. No problem. Good morning, guys. I know I don't know most of you. I think I know Messi. I have not seen Azu and Jordan. Okay, me and Daniel have been we've come a long way, at least during the process of DevOps class in the past, and we've been on this for quite some time. So I've been a rounded guy on IT for a very long time, but I've not been doing 100% IT. So since I came over into the country and I had to pick up the pieces where I left from Nigeria, so I've been a Linux administrator, Cisco's routing and switching guy, and I've been virtually everywhere in IT, but I'm trying to broaden my horizon. So I had to go over to DevOps, where I met Daniel, and I think we did very well, and we connected in that aspect. So we're trying to push what we have to others not withholding knowledge. And like Daniel says, the money is not the issue. Some of us doesn't do this for money. We just do this for the passion of what we believe and how to help people. I know not all of you know me, but most of you that knows me can attest to the fact that I wake up very late to help some people in this regard. So I'll be also helping Daniel in this class. He's the one championing it, but I'll be a backup on him. So feel free, reach out to me if you have any questions. Like he said, we don't have all the answers, but we can help get all the answers you need. So DevOps, like he has already said, you see, the short and long story of this is just your what they calling it, your desire to learn it. You can pay the money, but I know people that paid the money and never opened AWS till the end of the class, and that person has robbed himself. So if you want to get the best of it, Daniel might not give you the best of it. I might not give you the best of it, but you can give yourself the best of it. If only at the end of the class, you pick up some notes, you pick up some research materials, and you go through what was discussed in the class. This and many more is how you can get yourself well grounded. And this is how I also did too, and also Daniel too. So all of us were not born with IT. We came to learn it, and we desired it, and that is why we are where we are today. So I wish you all the best for all of you that are taking this course. But please take your material seriously, take your class very serious, and the sky will be your limit.
Thank you, Solomon. So I'm gonna I want to hear from you guys just like maybe 1 minute. Like I said, this first hour is gonna be really introduction today because this is a family. So for me, I'm gonna see you guys all not just as students, but as a family in the IT. Like I said, social networking in IT is the best. If you don't have social network, you are gonna be like a loose kite. You go any direction, you get lost, right? So we are going to start it from the starting. This is class 001. So which means we are going to set that standard. We are going to set that pace. So we are going to be doing, I'm going to give you guys time to like maybe 1 minute for you to introduce yourself. If you have, tell us like if you have any IT background or your journey, where you are in your journey. But before I do that, I want to just mention one more thing. For me, transparency matters. I've been through several IT and delivering programs, and one of the most common thing I hear is people will tell you that, oh, I'm going to help you to learn AWS or DevOps, and then I'll help you get a job. Or when you finish, you are going to get a job. I'm going to be very upfront here. I'm not going to be giving you guarantee. I'm not going to say 100% that when you finish this class, you're going to get a job. It's really going to depend on what work you put in during the class, after the class, and going forward. So you are not just going to take this class and then you say you are done, and so you expect to get a job. No, taking the class is just one step. Having a job is another step. What Cloud Skill Gateway, what we are going to do for you is we are not only going to deliver the class, but we're also going to be with you in that process. So for example, doing like resume prep, like help you with your resume, making sure that you put the things that you have learned, that you say you know. Because some people will put things on their resume and then they ask them on that resume, they don't know. And again, I myself am a victim of that. When I started, that was how I started. Put a lot of things on my resume. And I remember one time they were asking me, simple question, IAM, when you create an IAM user without, you don't give your permission, what permission do they have? I couldn't tell because I have it on my resume. But because I didn't read, I didn't study my own resume. So we are going to help you to be able to study your resume, know what you put on that resume, so that they will not take you unawares. But what we are not going to do for you is we're not going to promise you that we will give you a job or you are going to get a job. We all see how the job market is saturated right now. Even people with 5, 10 years, 15 years experience. I have friends who are being laid off right now. And so it's really going to be depending on what work you put in, how you dedicate yourself, your time, and how like if you rate yourself from 0 to 10, how eager are you for you to learn this IT? If you put yourself at 1, then you are doing a disservice to yourself. So which means your motivation is very low. So I want everybody that your motivation to be at least like maybe 9, because that will help you ginger you up. So we're not going to promise you we are going to give you a job. What we can promise, we are going to be with you through that journey, like resume prep, interview prep. So we'll do mock interviews. So if this was like a mock interview, we'll say, okay, Jordan, we are going to interview you. We are going to ask you questions. We are going to drill you. Solomon and I'm going to be bringing in other experts, people that are working in the field, to come and give talk or give presentation. And so during those interviews, I'll bring people to come and ask you questions. So those are going to be the kind of like interview prep. It's not just us telling, oh, answer this, answer this. We're actually going to be doing live interviews. Like interview, it's called mock interview. We're going to pretend as if it's actually we are the employers and we are going to interview. So that's what we can do that for you. What we are also going to do, what we can also promise you to do is by the end of the class, you should be able, based on the information that you're going to learn, to go take the AWS certification, maybe cloud practitioner certification. You can go take solution. I have a solution architect certification. In fact, I just received an email this morning stating that my certification, my solution architect certification is going to be expired in August. So those are the things that we are going to lead you to. Either you go take certification after this class, because certifications matters. I only went and did IT, a degree in IT, because I like school. But you don't need to have a degree in IT. I've seen many people who have been in the field for 15, 20 years, they only have certification. And so we are going to point you to those certifications. Just because I went and did a master's in IT, I'm not going to be advising you to go spend $21,000 to go do a master's again. It's going to be up to you to go and pursue a PhD or a master if you want to. It's not a bad thing. I'm not telling you it's a bad thing. But from all job, when we are going to be looking at job applications or like LinkedIn, one of the most important things is they are looking for experience and they are looking for certifications. So those certifications, we are going to be pointing you to accredited agencies that actually offer certifications. So I want to make that very clear here. I want to make that very clear. And I'm not going to advise you to lie. So I want to be very, very, very clear. It is going to be your own choice to make that decision when you are applying, to tell people who you are and what you are. So I just want to make that very, very clear. Cloud Skill Gateway is going to help you, but we are not going to promise you to give you something that we cannot provide. We can tell you that we will deliver the services, the training, but we are not going to tell you that. Maybe if some of you are really, really good and you want to be part of Cloud Skill Gateway to help or to do internship, that's a different conversation. Because as we are going to go, we are going to be growing. And so we are going to be getting, but that's a different conversation. But we are not going to tell you that we will give you a job or you are going to get a job. Just like my school, the school I went, 1 year, 6 months, they never told me that I'm going to get a job. I finished, I haven't gotten a job. That was not what the school told me. The school told me that they will deliver, they will teach me, they will show me the thing. And that was what they did. It's really up to me now to put in application, how many applications I put in a day. How many applications do I put in a month? How many readings, how many things, how many other skills am I improving every day? So it's really going to be depend on me, not the school again. The school has done its part. I have paid them. They don't care. We are not going to say Cloud Skills Gateway. We are not going to say we don't care. But what we are going to do is we are going to be with you in that journey. Help you with prepping your resume, mock interviews. Even when you have an interview, maybe like if you reach out to us, you let us know, hey, I have an interview tomorrow. We will try to make time, if we have time, to help you prep for that interview. Because we want success. But we want success the right way. So I'm really taking time to explain this. And for those of you that are going to be listening to this video, this recording, I'm emphasizing on this. Cloud Skill Gateway is not going to be making those promises at all. So if that's what you want, then maybe this is not the right place for you. We are not really considered about the money is, I want the money. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, for me, it's honesty. But money is not going to be our first priority. You guys are going to be our first priority. Money will come later because it is depending on what we are going to give to you, how we are going to deliver. If you are satisfied, then you are going to be like, yes, I'm satisfied with what but we are not going to making fake promises or telling you things that we are not going to deliver. So I'm really, really serious about this. Very serious, Yeah, so we'll continue to talk about this. So I'm gonna take pause for a little bit, and then you guys, I want you guys to 1 minute. So your name, how long, you don't have to share any personal information. If you are just getting into the IT, or if you have been in the IT before, just few minutes, just take a few minutes and tell us about yourself. So I'm gonna open the floor to you guys.
My name is Azo Wosu. So although I study engineering here in US and also in Nigeria, but I've been in IT. I did Scrum Master, QA automation and manual. Then I also did DevOps uh, with friends that way I met Dan, and then we became friends and started from there. But I've been in IT, trying to pick one or two things together to get what I want in IT. And I hope this journey gonna be a successful one for me to learn that dream job.
Welcome, Azu.
All right, Dan.
Thank you for sharing.
All right.
So anybody else can go. Azu, you can mute. Yeah, then.
All right. My name is Tope Jordan Olonipua. I am originally from Nigeria, and I have all my life worked in aviation. So,
Wow.
so I used to be. I started as a flight attendant, and then I came to the US to be a flight dispatcher, and then I've worked with airlines, like almost all the airlines in this country, doing customer service and stuff like that. But presently, I work for Chase Travel, which is part of Chase, JPMC Morgan Chase. And I do I book flights for people that have credit cards with Chase, help them with like customer service work, generally, what they would normally call the airlines for. We do it for them. And also, we also plan vacations for them. We help them with hotel bookings, car rental, all those kind of stuff. So basically, I'm here because I want to transition from doing that into doing IT, especially within my company, because there's a lot of IT jobs and IT roles and prospects within the company. So I'm hoping that with what I learn here, I can pitch myself, to like head of departments and stuff like that, and just move around in the company. And I'm sure that you guys will help me. I also have another IT class that I've registered for, but I'm not sure if I want to take that yet because I know it's a lot of information. So I just focus on this one and, of course, devote my time to learning by my own self. And hopefully I'll be able to get to my destination before the end of the year.
Welcome, Jordan. Welcome. You are in the right place. Welcome. So this is what I'm talking about. So we have someone who is in aviation. So this is a networking. So networking is not just about like in IT, this is networking. So this is what I'm talking about. We are meeting people from different backgrounds here. You never know who is going to be your helper. So that's what we talk about, networking. So welcome, Jordan. Mercy, I think you are the last one. Solomon already went earlier. Mercy, are you there?
I think she's cooking soup in the kitchen.
Are you cooking goat soup? Okay. So Mercy is not there. So we're gonna start. Any questions so far before we start anything? Any question?
Danny, I have a question.
Yes.
You know, I've been getting the, recruiters, and I just came back from Nigeria, so,
Mm-hmm.
and I give him. I said I'm gonna give myself some time before I go back to IT because I told you what's my plan I had when I came back. I'm doing more of my engineering interviews and everything, but that may mean that I would say I'm lost ground in IT, not knowing most of the things. So whenever I get this interview, I just try to decline them. So recently, even 2 or 3 days ago, I got this call from this lady, and then so I tried to schedule an interview, but she has not responded to me. She was to hitting me up, with a lot of emails and text messages. Maybe next week, nothing good might come up from it. So if I have an interview on time, maybe 2, 3 days before, can I give you a call? I'll give Solomon a call so that, you guys brush me up so that, I look good during the interview to know what I'll be saying,
Yeah. So like I said, that's a really good question. So the class, it's not just us coming to learn the information here, right? But we are gonna help. We are gonna be with you in your journey. Now we're not gonna tell you exactly like this is what they are gonna ask you. So what if
Yeah,
if you are gonna reach out to us for interview prep, you have an interview going on, like
yeah,
maybe just let us know like in advance, like maybe
okay.
1 or 2 days in advance. And then what I would really need is like the
Job
the
description.
company, the job description, like the job that you are going for, like right, what are they looking for? Okay.
Okay,
Um, that's because we want to help you, we want to tailor the interview based on what the job is, and also just be aware I'll be mostly available during in the morning hours, right? So
okay.
especially
Morning now.
on Saturdays and Sundays, or even like Monday to Friday, like morning hours would be the best time if you want
What?
to.
Sorry, what time? I'm 2 hours ahead of you.
Yeah, so that one you have to reach out personally when that time comes, so that you just let me. That's why I said let me know in advance, because I don't want
Okay,
to give you a specific time and then I'm not able to meet that time.
okay,
Okay?
okay, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other question? Okay, so if there is no other question, then let's see what we have here. So for those of you who right now, if you don't have access to the classroom yet, don't worry, you will have access. You have access. But when you have access, you see all this information. You see this information, and then whenever you want to go to the course, you click on the course, like what you want to do. So you're gonna make your own time. Okay, what do I want to focus? So we're not gonna be touching every day each one. So like I said, AWS is gonna be the first month. So we're gonna be focusing our attention on AWS. And we are not gonna waste time. We're gonna move on right from today. Unless if anybody have any question before we move on. Okay, so we're gonna be seeing some presentation slides. So I'm gonna be going over some presentation slides, because even though this is gonna be a hands-on, we will not just jump into like going to demo. I want you to understand, even in interview questions, I want you to have this format. Interview question, they ask you, tell us what tools have you used. If you have used EC2, don't just say EC2 and then So first define what it is. What is EC2? Why do people what's the use case of EC2? What are the use cases? Right? Why do people need to move from their applications that are running on the on-prem? Why should they come to the cloud? So you need to define what it is, what are the use cases, right? And how have you interacted with that service? And so that's what we're going to start with here today. So we're going to look at an overview of what the cloud computing is. But actually, before we do that, I want us to talk about the timing, because some people were concerned about the timing. So I am flexible. I want to shift the time from 6 to 5. So because right now for people who are in Central Time, I think it's like 8 o'clock for them at 6 or something. So I want to move that time. I'm willing to wake up 5 a.m. my time, because right now we have it at 6 a.m. So I want to move it one hour back. So instead of 6, we make it to 5 a.m. to 8 instead of 6 a.m. to 9. We can make it 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Pacific time. What I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think?
That's
Do
fine
it.
for me.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that will be I will add that. Let me add that to a note here just so that I don't forget it, because I just want to make sure I'm also like being sensitive, like try to be unanimous for people,
Mm.
So
That-
that would be 7 to 10 a.m. Central, right?
Yes, I think so. If you check it
yeah,
like 3 hours, like just check
seven
it.
to
Like
10
if you Google
Central.
it,
Yeah.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
yeah.
Danny, tomorrow
Mhm.
class is gonna be 7
So we'll change that
5
class. We'll make it 5.
well, from tomorrow.
Yeah, from tomorrow. It start from tomorrow. Of course, we'll not
Okay.
start from now unless we go back in the future. I mean, in the past. We cannot go in the past, right?
Right.
Starting tomorrow, it's 5. So I will change that. I will change the Zoom link. I will update the Zoom link to say 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. So 5. And then for breaks, so it's a 3-hour class. And when I took my AWS, it was also the same thing, 3 hours. But the experience was sitting for 3 hours can be very tiring. Maybe the first 1.5 hour, you get information, but then after that, the information, whatever they will be saying, it's gone. So to avoid that, I want us to take breaks. So I was thinking about maybe the first 1.5 hour, and then we'll take maybe 15 or 20-minute break. I also want, what do you guys think? Do you want like 15-minute break or 20-minute break or 30 minutes? We cannot do 30 minutes because then that will take up a lot of time. So 15 or 20?
15.
Okay. 15 will be fine.
15 minutes. So we'll do, so it's 7:04, so 7:30. What is midway from, let's say from 5 now, 5 to, so today is going to be odd because today we start at 6, we are ending at 9. So what's the midway from 6 to 9?
6:30. 6:30. Today is 7:30.
7:30. So 7:30, we're gonna take a break, 15-minute break. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna say, so if we are doing 5:30, I mean 5 o'clock, that will be 6:30, right?
6:30, yes.
So okay. All right. So that's just, we cover that one. So I'll make sure like 7:30 we'll take a break today. All right, and then let's look at this one. So most of the materials that we're going to be using here, these are not material. Again, I just want to be transparent to you guys. These are not materials that I created on my own. So these are materials I got on the web. these are I have some stuff I subscribe to, and so one of the sites have this, so that's what we're going to be using because I think it's a very condensed material. So most of the materials that we're made, all if not all the materials that we're going to be using is going to come from the web because we are doing cloud computing. So all our resources are going to be coming from the internet. So the first one we're going to start with really is so ideally after this, like maybe this introduction, when we come back I'm going to try to make sure to cover this particular slide within this 20-something minutes, 23 minutes window. And then when we come back, we are going to do some installation. So some of the tools that I said we should install, the things, I know, Jordan, you were having issue with one of the links. So we're going to be installing some of these things and setting you guys up for like the different things that we're going to be using. So what is cloud computing? So again, cloud computing, if you are using like even this Google Classroom that I have here, Gmail that you have, OneDrive that you have, if you go to your email, so this is the Class Key Gateway. So if you go to your email and you click on those dots here, so you see all the services, these are all cloud computing services. So sometimes when people think like it's just like a big deal, but these are all the Google Meet, Google Chat, email, YouTube, Google Search, Map, Google OneDrive, iTunes, Google Play. If you have iPhone, all those things. So everything that you are seeing here, these Excel sheets, Google Doc, these are all cloud services. So when we talk about cloud computing, is a practice of using networks. So you get interrelated networks, right? But they are hosted remotely. When we talk about remotely, they are hosted on the cloud. So opposed to like having a physical building, for some of you who have worked in big corporations or big companies that have their own servers, you can see that some maybe you are not allowed in that particular room. They call it server room. It's only IT personnel that are allowed into those rooms, wherein they have all their servers, they have their networking, like everything is in there. And so that's called on-prem. On-prem is just a physical building. When you have your computing services in the physical building, like your database, it's in a physical building. And you see sometimes you have this lights and everything, it has a lot of coolings and everything else. So that's on-prem. When we talk about the cloud, it's like you can have those same resources that you have on-prem in the physical building in the cloud. So the internet services like hosting servers, everything in the cloud. You can store, manage, and process data in the cloud, right? It is internet-based computing. So you use the internet, you have to have an access to the internet for you to be able to like access the internet, the services that you have. So some of the services is like, you can talk about like database, you can talk about like provisioning servers, you can talk about like storage, so if you look at your computer has storage. So those storage is the same. So the cloud computer, we'll talk about EC2 that we're going to talk about later, is just like your computer. It's a computer actually, only that computer is not physical, it's in the cloud. So that's basically what the cloud is. There are different types of cloud. We have private cloud, we have public cloud, we have hybrid cloud. Private cloud is wherein it's dedicated to private corporations, to individuals, right? So when you create an AWS account, AWS is a public cloud. It's considered to be a public cloud because it's open to the public. But when you create that account, you are telling AWS, say, hey, I want to work with you. And the AWS say, hey, okay, you have provided, so you'll be asked to provide email address. The most important three things they will ask you for. 1, your email address. 2, your card information. 3, your address, your home address. So those 3 things they will ask you for. And then once you provide, like if you provide your account, your card number, you have to have a card, like a card for payment. They will charge you $1 just to test that card is actually functional. So AWS is an example of a private cloud. but they sell their resources to you. They give you access to some of their resources, which they call VPC. So in a VPC, you can also VPC, AWS give you a VPC. That VPC is your own private cloud. So even though it's public, now you have your own niche inside AWS, which is your private cloud. Nobody can access it if you don't give them access. So you only have one private network, public cloud. So AWS is fall under this public cloud, not the private cloud. So you can get a private cloud when you sign up for AWS. AWS give you some of their compute services. So I mix it the other way around. So it's public because it's open to the public, right? Owned by cloud service providers, offers highest level of efficiency. So the cloud provide highest level of efficiency as compared to like the services that are hosted on-prem. And why do we say that? Because the physical building can burn down. If you want to scale out your application, it's going to be really hard because you have them physically in the building. You have to buy. If let's say you have your company, let's say Cloud Skill Gateway decide we grow so much and then we'll have our own building and we'll have 5 servers that our applications, like our programs, the class program, the student information, all is being stored. Let's say we grow up to a point where we become like a kind of like a school, like a university. And then we'll have to like store like your name, your full name, your address, your card information. So all those are sensitive information. It needs to be stored somewhere wherein it's not accessible by anybody else. We need a server for that. We need a database to store that. If we have a physical building and we have, like, let's say I buy like 5 servers, what happens if, let's say, the business grow and we start having influx of people coming in just to take the classes? We do a really, really good job. And then you guys went out and say, hey, this is a really great program. And then people start coming in. And then it exceed the amount of servers that we have. Now we want to scale out. It's hard for you to scale out on-prem because you have to spend a lot of money. Now you are going to buy the physical server. You are going to buy probably another 5 servers to make it 10. That's a lot of money. With the cloud, all you need to do is to increase how much server. If you want how many server, or if you want how many CPUs or storage, you can just increase. You don't need headache. In fact, some of the services, you don't need to worry about the underlying infrastructure because AWS, for example, will take care of those underlying infrastructure. When we talk about hybrid is where you have half of your application running on-prem and then half of them in the cloud. So usually what people do, they have their compute services, they have their workload, everything is on in person, like in the physical building. Again, when I say on-prem, it's just a physical building, the premises. So some organizations have that. Many state agencies, that's what they do. So I went for interview for the county here. And one of the things that they told me, they have all their applications running on-prem. So the only application that they have running in the cloud is Intune, Microsoft Intune, right? But everything is on-prem. So that's like a hybrid, even though they don't have a lot of application, but that's hybrid. When you have some of the application running on-prem, and then you have some of them, let's say you have like your backup. This is the majority of the time, this is what companies do. They have all the applications that the user are accessing running on the physical building. But then when they talk about like, okay, what if something happened? What if this fire catch on our servers? Because servers can get really, really hot. You need a lot of heating. We'll look at like the difference between the cloud and then the on-prem. Yeah, but so that's the kind of architecture, that's the kind of design, call it hybrid, because you have some running like your disaster recovery mechanism, your backups are all on the cloud. So if something happened to the physical building, you don't have to reinvent, you don't have to recreate everything. You can just fall back, you can just pull back from the cloud. So that's the difference. You have private, public, and hybrid. Type of cloud computing. So you have, again, we talk about public here. So under public, you have scalable. So why the public? It is scalable, it is reliable, it is expensive, location independent, right? So when you talk about public cloud, So it is location independent, it is expensive. We talk about private cloud, it is also scalable, secure, flexible, greater control. So because it is you, the individual, you have a lot of control over it. And the public here is because you are not the only person having it. So you can see from the image, you are not the only person owning this. So basically, like the website, the Cloud Skill Gateway website is running on a public cloud. So what happened is they have probably a lot of people, a lot of other customers that are on the same server, running on the same server. A lot of other people running on the same providers running on the same server. So which make that it's reliable, it is scalable, which means scalability just means that it can grow. Yeah, it can grow. So if you have 5, it can go up to like 100 if you want. And you can also shrink it down if you want, right? So that's what scalability means. Reliability means that it's going to be up for how long you want it. Even if something happened, it will be up. That's why we talk about multi-region, high availability, fault tolerance. We are going to be talking about all those things. So that's what we talk about reliability. You know that your application is going to be 365 days, it's going to be running. So there is this thing they call like recovery point objective and recovery time objective, right? So if my application, some organization, they will have like, hey, if my application goes down, I don't want it to be 5 minutes. In fact, many agencies for the entire year, they will not go down for 5 minutes, because if they go down for 5 minutes, it impacts lives. Some of the application AWS that you are seeing here, some of like the hospitals and all those things, they are running their equipment on the cloud. And so what happens if AWS go down? What happens is people are going to be dying from the hospital, because those applications are going to stop working, right? And so that's why I talk about it is reliable. But it is expensive because it is not just you, other people are there. And then the location matters. Whereas the private, this is dedicated to you. So it is secure because you are the only person, unless you give access to other people. It is flexible, which means you can either increase it or decrease it, or you can even, if you don't want it, you can deactivate it. Hybrid, it is scalable, secure, flexible, cost-effective, right? So it's cost-effective. Benefits of the cloud. It saves you money. It is flexible. It is innovative, which means you can new things, new ideas can come out of it. So for example, Cloud Skill Gateway. We are delivering services. What happened as we start to grow? Maybe we are going to start having like a structured lab wherein we don't have to go in there. You just have to subscribe, and then you can do the labs on your own. It provides opportunities for business, especially small businesses. It is highly accessible. So as long as you have access to the internet, it is accessible. On-prem, you cannot just access it just anyhow. You have to be sometimes in the physical building. This is what happened when, for companies, maybe Jordan, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Some of the applications, you cannot access it outside of the bank building. You have to be inside that building for you to be able to have access. Or maybe you have to be in another branch for you to be able to have access, right? But
Yeah.
many companies are like that.
Correct.
Yeah. And so that's what they talk about accessibility. So you can have that granular, you can control who accesses the application and who doesn't. Okay, we have 10 minutes before we take break. There are 3 service models. There are not 3, the basic one. There are a lot of service models in the cloud computing, but we'll talk about these 3. One, when we talk about service model, so remember we talk about the type of cloud computing, right? So we talk about public, private, and hybrid. When we talk about service model, we are talking about like how are these things delivered, right? What kind of services do we provide? So how what we call like SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS. So it's really important to remember these things. So when we talk about SaaS, is software as a service, right? So you see web browsers fall under this, mobile app or browser fall under this, mobile phone fall under this, tablet fall under this, laptop fall under this, desktop fall under this. So the end users. So when we talk about like really the SaaS, so we'll talk about software as a service. The application is centrally hosted. Let's say, for example, Microsoft 365, right? Google App, Salesforce, CRM, that customer relation management, email. So these are all SaaS applications because they are software. So if I go back to the email I was telling you here, so these are all software as a service. Why is it called software as a service? Because I did not create this. Google created this Gmail. This is all. Have you ever thought about like? So I asked myself this question few years ago. How on earth I just register for that email and I don't even get any subscription, like anything, right? But I keep getting my email. Well, the thing is, you are paying for that email, only that they are not charging you for the email itself. You are paying for like storage. So if you go like, sometimes they will say like, oh, your drive is full because you are paying for that, but they are providing other services. You are not even knowing that you are saying. But this is an example of software as a service. Everything that you see here, and this is just Google. If you go to AWS, you can see the software as a service also. If you go to GCP, no, not GCP, because this is GCP, Google Cloud Services. If you go to Azure, they also have cloud services. So when we talk about software as a service, that's really what we mean. Like the application, Microsoft 365 is a typical example. Google Apps and all those kind of things. And then the other one we have PaaS, which is platform as a service. So platform as a service, software development stack is hosted Windows, Azure, and Google App Engine, Coco, and for. So AWS is a PaaS. So the AWS account that we are going to be creating later on is called platform as a service. Why is it a platform as a service? It's because once you sign up for that account, you are going to have access to other computing resources that are already there. So AWS has created for you the platform where you don't have to go reinvent learn how to do your own EC2, how to make your own database. AWS already have those things there. All you need to do is sign up and then request for the service. So that's why it's called platform as a service. And then the last one is infrastructure as service. So infrastructure, what does that mean? Infrastructure as service, so we'll talk about VM, like VMware, we talk about servers. We are going to be talking about server like EC2s. We are going to talk about storage. So these are all infrastructure, network services. So on your, let me see if I can pull up. The other thing, guys, I know, so we are all different here. I'm going to be sharing my screen. If you try to get into my system, you're not going to be able to anyways. I'm not saying try, but so if you do like networking here, so under networking, you have all these things like Wi-Fi, internet. So are you guys seeing my screen? Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So you have like networking. Basically, when we talk about networking, the Wi-Fi that you have, right? It's networking. It's part of networking. The Ethernet, if you are using Ethernet, I'm using a VPN. So that VPN is networking. Mobile hotspot that you have, it's networking. Airplane mode that you have, the proxy server that you have, Dura setup, all these things are networking. When we talk about storage, like security groups, these are all networking. So when we talk about platform, infrastructure as service, those are the things that we really mean, like Amazon Web Services, those are infrastructure as service. So why do people need to really think about the cloud or move from on-prem and go to the cloud? One.
Hey, Daniel.
Yes.
Can you go up one slide? I just want to see the examples.
Here?
Yes. So are you saying that the Gmail is not SaaS?
Gmail?
Like Google generally, like is not SaaS?
So Gmail is SaaS. So email, so it says here, it is. Gmail is SaaS.
The whole Google suite itself, like what you just showed us on like your Google.
So the whole everything here, like in here.
Yes.
Yeah. So these are all individual SaaS, but when you put them collectively, it becomes a platform, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So individually, if you just look at email itself, it's SaaS, right? But when you put everything, so you see it says there are Google app engines, right? So everything, when you put them together, it becomes a PaaS platform, because it's now a platform, right?
Yeah.
Does that answer your question?
Yes. So I'm a little confused. So what's the difference between the infrastructure and the platform? I understand the software part now, but infrastructure and platform, what's the difference between those two?
Yeah. So when we talk about like the infrastructure, you are looking at really like Amazon Web Service itself, could be like the infrastructure again, because it has like all different components that are coming in together to form that, right? It's kind of like almost like these two, the platform and IaaS, kind of like similar, only that when you look at the platform, it's more broader. When you look at the infrastructure, these are like individual, like when we talk about the server. So the server itself is an infrastructure, right? So just like when you say a building, the building itself is an infrastructure. When you talk about the city itself, where the building is, then it becomes a PaaS, because it becomes like, it's like you having this, let me see if I can show you guys.
So something like Salesforce will be
A
SaaS,
platform.
not really?
Yeah,
But
so
you put it as example of SaaS here on the screen. I see Salesforce there as SaaS.
yeah, so it's a SaaS, sorry. Salesforce is a SaaS. So Salesforce, when you look at, I don't know much about Salesforce, but it has like different things that you can access in Salesforce, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that make it a SaaS, right? Let me show you. Let me go duplicate this screen. That's a good question, Jordan. Good clarification. Okay, so I'm just gonna the okay, I'm gonna just to demonstrate real quick. Let's say this is AWS, right?
Yes.
And then let's say you have all these applications here, right?
Yes.
So let's say these are all, let's say this is an EC2, this is a VPC, this is like security group load balancing. They have up to probably hundreds and hundreds of applications. So this AWS itself, the whole AWS is now a platform, right? And each one in here, these are applications that are running inside it. So when you sign up for this AWS gives you another. So inside here, AWS is giving you something like this. So this is AWS, the outer layer, and then the inner layer is the VPC. So inside this VPC, you have applications that are running here. So this is an example. This is how like what a platform, because it's just like you say, I'm going to provide you the platform, and then you can do, so just like what Cloud Skill Gateway is going to do. We'll provide you, we'll give you these things, but we'll give you the platform, and then you can access the resources and also bring in other resources that as you wish. So this is an example of like a platform.
Okay. So is it logical to say that platform is like the box, and then each of those softwares are the SaaS, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
then what about the infrastructure? What makes that one like, is that one like a different thing entirely? But like, why is infrastructure different from platform? That's the part that I don't understand, because to me, it sounds like almost the same thing.
Okay. So let's take a break, and then when we come back, we'll look at that question, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's 7:31. I want to make sure we adhere to that. So let's take a 15 minutes break as we agreed. And then when we come, we're gonna try to answer your question, Jordan. Because I
right,
think
thank you.
that's really important for us to clarify that before we move on. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right. So 15 minutes. So we are gonna be back at 7:45. So I'll set a timer here. Yeah, so you can mute yourself or whatever you want to do. Go take stretch out. Yeah. Okay, I'll see you guys in 15 minutes. Okay, guys. Welcome back.
All right, Danny.
Hey, as you say, you are leaving at 8?
Yeah,
All right.
I told you that. Awesome. For tomorrow, I'll stay the whole. But tomorrow, I'll stay up the 3 hours tomorrow.
Okay. No worries. All right. Is everybody here?
Yes.
Okay. So yes, so Jordan, let's continue with that discussion. Let me hit the stop. Okay. So I'm just gonna hit recording against because I pause it. Okay. So we left off from just trying to get more deeper understanding of like the difference between like what we are talking about, like the SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I did some search while you guys were gone, and if you Google it, one of the things that came up is, so this is actually very clear now. So with infrastructure, if we start with this one, this infrastructure as service, it provides virtualized computing resources. That's why I said they put here like servers and storage. So basically it's virtualized. So it's not like it's in a virtual environment, right? Um, and so the service provider manages the infrastructure while you, the end users, you manage the OS, which is the operating system. So you, the service provider, let's say Google will provide the resource for you, but you, as the end user, you have to manage the OS, the operating system. So an example we are going to see when we start talking about like, when we go into like AWS, like the account, an example is EC2. So AWS, when you create the account, AWS allow you, so AWS, the account that you create, that's going to be the platform. But inside that platform, AWS will allow you to create like resources like EC2, for example. But that EC2, AWS is managing the underlying infrastructure of that EC2. But you, as a customer, it is your responsibility to manage what kind of operating system that EC2 is going to have. So again, just like your computer is running on an operating system. So if you have Windows, it's running on Windows operating system. If you have MacBook, it's running on Mac operating system or Linux, right? And so Windows, you buy your computer, your computer now, for your computer, you manage everything because it's your physical computer. But this is in a virtualized environment. So that's what we call a VM. So that's why I put here VM, right? So it's virtualized, it's in the cloud. So you have to manage the operating system that's going to use. So when we create EC2, we'll have to determine whether we want Windows operating system, Linux operating system, like Ubuntu, or Debian, Red Hat. We have to manage that. We have to determine which one we want. But everything else under that, it is not our responsibility. It's AWS. So that is infrastructure as service. Another example of that is Microsoft Azure Virtual Machine. So VM. So the EC2 that Amazon has, Microsoft call it VM, Virtual Machine. Another, Google call it Google Compute Engine. So that's why you see them here, right? The use cases, when you use fully control over virtual machine, you do not want to manage on the physical server. So you don't want to deal with like the physical, like just the on-prem. You want to make sure that that's the beauty of going into the cloud. Because like if you have your servers in your house, you are going to take care of everything that is going to, like the storage and everything that server is going to need, like updates, security patches. when you have it on-prem, when you have it like on the cloud, like with AWS or Azure or Google manage those things like those security patches and all those things. They manage it for you. So you don't have to worry about that. You only worry about your operating system and the services that you are running on that. So that's infrastructure. I think the confusion was between infrastructure and software as service, right, Jordan?
No. It was platform and infrastructure. But I think I understand it better now.
You understand it better?
Yes.
Okay, so I have a material here also. This one I will put in the thing. So this one also explains it really better here. So you see here, right? So you host under IaaS, you host, right? Under PaaS, you build. And then under SaaS, you consume. So basically under SaaS, you don't do anything, you just consume the information. Consume means like you the user under SaaS, it is fully managed. So the Google Classroom that we are using here, this Google Classroom, this is fully managed, right? I'm not doing anything to the code. All I do here is to come in, put my class resources and all those things. I don't even know, this thing is running on a server, but I don't know about that. Only Google know what server, and multiple people are using this. If you have Gmail, you have access to this one, right? So This is an example. So this is like, I don't manage anything in underlying infrastructure. All I have to worry about is the services that I'm going to be using that application for. Does that make sense?
Yes. So on PaaS, you build.
Yep.
On IaaS, you host.
You host.
And then on SaaS, you consume.
You consume.
Okay, so that makes it even clearer.
Yep. So it's right here. So I'm gonna put this link in again, all the things. So this is what I'm really expecting, guys. Don't just sitting and listen and taking everything I say. I want you to, just like what Jordan did, I want you to ask questions. You are paying money for this. Remember, guys, you are paying money. Make sure that you are getting what you are paying for. So good question, Jordan. So I'm going to put that material on the resources. I'll do it after the class anyway. All right. So moving on. Why cloud computing? Why do people want to go to the cloud? Cloud computing has this thing they call pay as you go, pay as you use, or pay as you go. So basically, they only charge you for the resources that you use. So if you don't use it, if you have AWS account and you don't provision anything, AWS will not charge you anything. So Azure, the reason why AWS is charging you every month is because you are using a resource, even though you don't need it, even though it is for in a business world, in the actual IT environment, that will be underutilized resource. So that's like a bad business. That's a bad business. I remember, like, I've worked with someone, one of the projects they were working on is all they tell them, the manager, the ticket they gave him was to clean up, which means to go into the account, make sure that any resource that is underutilized or that they are not using should unprovision them. So pay as you go. So remember that, pay as you go. This is for the test. They will ask you about this. So you have support when you go to the cloud. You have like technical support from Google or any cloud provider. And the device location independent, easy and agile deployment. So the deployment of application is easy and the using agile, so which means very flexible. And if the deployment fails, you can roll back to the previous one. If you need to update, you can update. Utility based. So they have different services that they provide, and how you use those services is really going to depend on you, the customers, like what you want. Highly automated. So this is a big one, automation. So we want to prevent the manual efforts, like doing things manually. And so cloud computing makes things to be highly automated. Like, so there are companies who who are solely designed to just automate things. So companies that actually also create like codes. So they have code as a service, and also automation. It's a very big one. So when we look at DevOps, you're going to see how automation is really important. Free up internal resources. So like if you have like resources within your environment, again, if they are not like really underutilized, if you are not using them, that's a bad business. So it's easy for you to like deactivate them or unprovision them. Low capital cost expenditure. So you don't spend a lot of money as compared to like if you are using like if you have your servers running in your physical building. Why do we say that? Because in the physical building, there are a lot of things that you have to think about. So you have to think about one, storage, or the physical building itself. You are going to rent a space. You are going to not only space, but utility, like electricity, cooling system. Like those servers, they need a lot of cooling system. Like you are like AWS has security guards, like a lot of security guard for their data centers, because everything that you do when you go to AWS, sign up and start creating resources, it's not just in the cloud, even though it's cloud, but it is on a physical data center. But you don't know about that because it's isolated from the users. But AWS know about it. In fact, like if you go in California, AWS has this massive data center. It's people, literally military personnel are guiding it. Even if they want to destroy. Sometimes there was a time where they were burning some of the technologies because they were outdated. Security guards have to stand there to make sure that it all burned down. Because like if someone take that resource, maybe there are things that are going to compromise other like their customer system. So security guards, so you are going to pay those security guards. They are not just going to do it for free. Disaster, I'm thinking about disaster recovery. So the physical building has a lot of like implications. The cloud, you don't have to worry about all those things. You don't have to pay a security guard to come and protect your infrastructure. You don't have to buy cooling system or like AC or all those kind of things. Secure storage management. So it is highly secure. The cloud is highly secure. Because like, again, we are going to look at that, why we say it's highly secure, especially when you are talking about like storage management. So we talk about like X3, EFS, and all these things. It is reliable, it is scalable, it is sustainable. So reliability means that even if something happened, depending on your architecture, you'll be able to regain. So you can have like disaster recovery mechanism. So if you look at, for example, Jordan and Chase must have like reliability mechanism in place, disaster mechanism in place. So if one application go down, they will be able to like the application should not even go down. It's not go down. If it go down, it will go down for like maybe a few seconds. But companies, banks like Chase, Wells Fargo, like those big banks, they have to make sure that they have like a reliable system and scalable system because they don't want their customers to have any impact. Scalability means that if you have a lot of people, let's say on Black Friday, we know like a lot of people, businesses, there are a lot of people. How do you manage when a lot of customers are coming to your site or making requests? Like Amazon, the proprietary Amazon, like where you go to buy your stuff. How do you make sure that the website is not crashing? That's what we call our scalability, right? Which means like if you were expecting 50 people and now there are 2,000 people, you have to design your application in a way that it can scale up for that particular time. And now we'll talk about load balancing. We talk about like different other services that can help with that, like auto scaling, right? So when it can detect that, a lot of people are making requests to this website right now. So therefore, I'm going to provision 5 more EC2 instances so that the server do not go down. Also, there are also attacks, like cyber attack. There's this one attack they call DDoS attack. distributed denial of service, wherein there are people who are just sitting on the site, on the web. Right now, they are sitting on the web and they are looking for vulnerabilities, applications that have loopholes. And so what happens is they push a lot of like requests to your server. And once they do that, your server becomes overwhelmed. And their goal is not to take hold of your server like a ransom, but their goal is to stress your server or your application so that it can crash. So they will mimic the actual legitimate users. And so they just start sending a lot of requests. One day, my son, I keep telling him about this security stuff, and he wasn't listening. And he was going to this site, and it was compromised. And so I was just looking at him, and he was just getting like this ads like coming. He will click and try to stop there, and the more he clicked, the more the thing was coming, you know. And I'm like, yeah, your computer is being hacked right now, you know. And so they will just send a lot of information just to overwhelm your system, and then your system will crash. So you can do that's why you can put mechanism here. You have to make sure that it's scalable. So if something like that happens, it's not going to overwhelm your system. It is sustainable, you know, so it's going to be there. Example of cloud computing, social networking, email, document, spreadsheet, other hosting services, backup services, banking and finance services, healthcare, government. So there are a lot of examples, a lot of, all of us here have interacted with cloud services, all of us. It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter where you are, but you have at some point in your life, you have interacted with cloud. You have, and you are currently interacting with cloud services, like the Google. I mean, the Zoom that we are using, it's a cloud service. So anything that you have to access through the internet is a cloud service. So this is just a history of like how it all came into existence. You know, 1960s, you have John McCarthy introduces mainframe, time sharing, and then 1969 you have Alpine, whatever. So these are just timelines to look at and where they came from, and then where they are now. They will not ask you this in the test, but it's just good to know. The cloud also have disadvantages. So one of these, so I talk about a lot of good things about the cloud, but I also have disadvantages. Organizational changes are needed for adopting the new technology. So you got to make some changes to your organization, you know, and sometimes the people don't want change. Some people don't want change. I've seen that even in my job, when they come up with a new thing, they say, hey, we want to move to this new platform. You see a lot of drawback, you know. So we have people they call early adopters and late adopters, you know. So that's one challenge. Vendor relationship management. So how do you manage your relationship with AWS? Let's say Chase want to do all their services on AWS and no other one again. What kind of relationship Chase is going to have with AWS is going to be another, it could be a disadvantage. Less control over business asset, you know, so you have less control because like some part of your business is being controlled by the cloud provider. Security, privacy, and legal compliance is difficult. So especially the legal compliance, right? So nobody's going to monitor like what I'm doing, you know. So how do I know that I'm upholding the GDP compliance or the CA compliance? Physical location of hardware and software is unknown. So like nobody know like where AWS, like maybe I will know, but none of you guys will know. Like I don't know where Google have their actual, like this Google Classroom that I'm running right now. I don't know where that server is. No, I don't know. So if I cannot change anything to the server itself. Require internet connection. So for you to be able to use the cloud, you have to have an internet connection. So that's a big disadvantage. If I go to Sierra Leone, for me to be able to teach you guys or access the Google Classroom, I have to have an internet. If I don't have an internet, that's going to disrupt my business. require data backup on a secure server. So you have to make sure that, so which means you are not only going to pay for your application, but you are also going to pay for that backup. So which means you can have your original application running and you are paying for that, but not only that, you are also going to pay for the storage. You are going to pay for that backup. So that's why it can be spendy. Requires higher bandwidth, which can increase cost. So how, like with the existing, we call latency, right? When people want to access your application, how easy it is for them to be able to access your application. Sometimes it requires a very high bandwidth, which means like high bandwidth, you're going to pay more. Can negatively affect application performance. So if let's say people want to access your application on the internet and it's just spinning, nothing is happening, that can really have a negative impact on people or the application itself. So that's all about just a little introduction of cloud computing. There are other resources I want us to go over, this is going to be mainly specific. So that's overview of like cloud computing in general. Everything that we'll discuss so far is not just for AWS, it cut across cloud providers. So you can apply that same information to Google, to Microsoft, to IBM, to any other cloud provider. So I'll give a few minutes if people want discussions or people want to ask questions before we move to the next one. Clarification or any comment? Jordan, do you have any comments? Mercy, do you have any comments?
No, I don't. Well understood.
Okay.
But you're supposed to give me access to this document, right? To this.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
I will. Yeah. I'll give you access. Okay, so let's look at AWS. So talk about this one. Yeah, this is the one that we just did. So this one, you can look at this. So I'll look at this other one. So this is, but before we do this, let's, this is going to be the presentation of the introduction of the thing itself. Yeah, so let's not start with this. Let's create AWS account. Okay. So for this one, how are we going to do this? So I would like, Jordan, are you able to share your screen?
Yes.
Okay, so you share your screen and then let me walk you through. At some point during the sharing, I'm going to tell you to stop sharing and then if you are putting any sensitive information, yeah. Okay, so if you can go to just type AWS. And then select that first one. So you say you don't have any account, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
So just click on that one, say create free account, the one in the yellow. So guys, if you are watching, so we are creating an AWS account right now. It's a requirement for this class. So if you are watching, make sure you follow these steps. Yeah. So put in an email address that you are going to use.
It doesn't have to be Gmail, right?
No. Unless if they change it, but it doesn't have to be Gmail. And then just put an account name. So the first thing is, guys, you go to your browser, you search for AWS. You can say Amazon Web Services or just say AWS. And then it will take you to a page like this, as you are seeing on Jordan's screen. and then you put your email address, and then you put the name of the name, how you want to call your account. So that name, so that one is 6NS8Z, and then I think that's C. Try that and see.
Is that it?
Yeah. Okay. So it's gonna send you, check your email. You should see a code. That email that you put, they sent you a verification. So this is what the reason why they sent you that verification. That's two-factor authentication, right? They want to make sure that you are who you are.
Okay.
And so now, Jordan, hold on just a minute. So when you are creating an account, so first you put your email, you name how you want to call your account. So that name is going to be the name that is going to be on your AWS account. And that's when that email that you are going to use, that's called a root user. So you see where it says it's asking you now for root user password. So that's the root user basically just means you are the administrator. You are the God. It's like a godfather for this account, which means you are the sole owner. You can do anything. You have unlimited privilege. So in an organization, that one, the best practice, you do not use this particular account, this particular user to create things. Only either the administrator will have access to this, but I'll show you again like what will happen. What's the best practice? Okay, so from here, Jordan, you can put your password. Put your password and then confirm it also. And for me, usually I just try to make sure I save it, like so that I don't have to type it all the time. Okay, so you can save it. And then it's asking you, so for here, guys, if you are watching again, so at this screen, it's asking you for two things. It can either be a business account or a personal account. If you are doing it for business, so for example, they give like school or organization, then you choose business. But we are not doing business. This is going to be a practice, so just put personal. So everybody, if you are watching this video, use personal. So use personal. Okay. And then ask you who should we contact. So yeah, just put in all your details. So this is Jordan. This is a point. And Jordan, can you hold on? Can you remove your information first? Just remove your name. So scroll down. So Jordan, remove all your information for now. I'll make sure I probably edit this video. I just don't want someone to have your private. So I just want to go over this one here. Okay, Jordan, go up a little bit. So it's gonna ask you for your full name. So you have to make sure the card number that you are going to use, it's the name match on that card, because this aspect is for billing, right? So you have to make sure that that's match the name on the card and then the address match. So Jordan, what I want you to do, I want you to stop sharing and then put in that information and then go next. When it take you to the next screen, and then you can share again, because I don't want anybody to have access to your personal information. So just stop sharing and then fill that section with your information and then go next. So also there is an instruction here on the Google Classroom where you can find that setup. Let me see where I put it. Let me know when you are done, Jordan.
So I'm supposed to put a credit card in here?
Yep, your credit card. That's why I said stop sharing. So your name, your full name, your address as it is on the credit card.
Okay. Are they gonna try to charge the card and
Yeah, they will charge, you will see a charge like $1.
okay.
Let me know when you are done.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Okay. Yeah, I think I have resources also that explain that here when people maybe I've not uploaded it, but yeah. So if you are watching the video, you are not going to see that aspect where Jordan is doing it, but there is a material here which I will upload, or it's here somewhere, that gives you like the step by step, like what you are supposed to do. But if you still have any issues like creating an AWS account, just let us know.
Yeah, I'm on this screen now.
Okay, so can you share? Let me see. What is he asking for?
I thought I was sharing. You can't see my screen?
No.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, I see it now.
Okay.
Okay. So once you put in your information, so remember you got to choose the persona. Once you put in that information, your billing information. So the billing, again, I'm emphasizing, it has to be, if it doesn't match, AWS will tell you to give you an error. So it has to be the same as the card information, and that the card that you put has to be active. So from here, you have 3 plans. Again, they will ask you, this will come in a cloud practitioner exam, the billing information or this setup. They will ask you like, what are the 3 plans, right? So you have basic support, which is the free tier. When you start with the free tier, and then you have the developer support, which is $29 a month. And then you have business support for like monthly, right? So you have the developer support, and then you have the business support. So if you are an organization, let's say Cloud Skill Gateway, we want to host applications and it's a business, we'll choose the business support, because this one, if something breaks, if something happens, you see they will say 24/7 tech support, 1 hour response time. So when you send a message, they will respond within 1 hour. Full set of trusted advisor, best practice recommendations. So they'll give you full set of trusted advisors. So trusted advisor is one of the technologies that AWS has that will actually advise you on if you like what applications to use. So you have that when you have the business support. So when you have the free tier, recommended for new users just getting started with AWS. So exactly what we are doing. You have 24/7 service access to AWS. So you have access to AWS at any time, right? But what you don't have that tech support. So if something breaks, you don't have that tech support as a free tier, right? You can put in tickets, but they are not going to respond like they will respond to the business, because they prioritize this business. For account and billing issues only. So see, 24 it's only for account and billing issues. So if you have issues with any billing and account, they are not going to have technical support for if your application is not working. They don't care about that, because that's the free tier. Access to personal health data, trusted advisor. So you also have access to the personal health, like your applications, if they are healthy or not. For the developer, it's recommended for developers experimenting with AWS. So if you're a developer, developers are just people who build applications. If they want to experiment with AWS, they want to deploy the application on AWS, then this is a good plan for them. They just have to pay $30, $29, basically. Email access to AWS support during business hours. So they will have, like, if they need support, they will have email support. So someone will reach out to them during business hours. So Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., you have access to someone if you have the developer support. 12 business hours response time. So you have 12 business hours response time. And this one is just 1 hour. So you see, so this is the basic, these are the 3 plans. So remember, in the exam, they might ask you a question about these 3 plans. So for this class, we are going to use the basic support. So from here, by default, they might ask you a question, by default, what is the default support plan when you create the AWS account? It's basic support free tier. So you don't need to change anything. You just need to go complete sign up.
Okay. Wait, so they can ask this one in the exam?
Yep, they might ask. They might ask, especially if you are doing the cloud practitioner.
Okay.
Yeah, so voila. So now you have, just click continue. Congratulations. So now you have your AWS account. So you can go to the console, click on go to console, AWS management console. So this is, so you see, they can even walk you through. So if you click on next, it's going to walk you through like everything that you are going to be doing.
This is the EC2 you mentioned, S3 bucket.
Yeah, so it's just telling you if you want to search for anything, if you want to search for any of the application, is that search bar. So if you want to search for any application, like if you don't know, you can just, I'm going to walk you guys through that. So don't worry about that right now. And then I will tell you about settings, all those things. So we'll do a walkthrough on this. Let me look at the other things on that list that you need to have. Go to your browser again, Jordan. So this is how we are going to be doing. I'm not the hands-on. I'm going to be having you guys do the hands-on. So I'm going to be directing you. Someone will be sharing. In fact, I should have explained this earlier. I would like someone. I don't just want one person. Jordan, you are the only person here right now. You are not the only person. Mercy is here. So I'll be calling on people to share their screen to do just like what Jordan is doing. So over there, those are called regions. So those are called regions. There are different regions. Again, we'll go into that. We are going to do a test drive on the AWS account so that you are familiar with the entire account, like you know your way, like how to navigate things. But first, I want us to create GitHub account and Bitbucket. So open another, just leave this browser on, type GitHub. That's another account we are going to be using. Yep. So just enter and then select that first one. And then sign off for GitHub.
Did I put my email first?
Yeah, you can put your email. And then just give a name, a password, and then username.
Okay.
So GitHub is just like we are going to be doing version control. So we are just installing all the things that you're going to need beforehand. But it's one of the tools that we're going to be, it's also a platform, just like we were talking earlier, it's an example also. So it's for version control or source control, if you may. Yep. So you just rotate that thing according to the other one. So just do the arrow, click on the arrow, move it to where this, so you see how that finger is pointing? Okay, keep going. I think that's correct. So click yes. So they have all these kind of things. I think they sent you a code that you need to enter. Okay, sign in. Boom. So that's GitHub. Okay. The next thing I want you to go, so just so you have that one. So when I say go to your GitHub account, so remember that's the one. So you can bookmark them. So I want you to bookmark all those, bookmark the AWS, bookmark the GitHub that you just created. So click on AWS, that AWS account that you created, open it. Yep, so bookmark it. Yep. Just so that next time when you need it, you know, just, yeah. So just click done. AWS, and then yeah, and you can also like create a folder on that bookmark where you can put this, you know. So you remember like when you click on okay, and now so I want you to search BIT BUCK. That one. Just hit enter. Just select that first one. Yep, Bitbucket, and then select the first one. So Bitbucket and GitHub are the same, just two different things. Again, just get it free. Again, it's also the same thing. Just put your email, try to create, you know, and that's it. They should also send you an email.
So I have a question for you. This
Yes.
AWS, what exactly are we supposed to be using it for? So I'm guessing that it is what like companies use to store their information and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Yeah.
what exactly will be our job? Is it to manage the information that the company stores in there or something like that?
Yeah. So yeah, we haven't talked about that, but we'll talk about that. But basically with AWS, why you learn AWS is like you can be an engineer, right? So if your company, let's say they want to create servers, you can do that. Let's say they want to update the server, you can do that. Let's say they want to create a storage, you can do that. Let's say they want to do building stuff, you can do that. Let's say they hire someone newly and then they want to give that person a permission. They want to create a user. So when they hire you for your company, usually they will do setup, right? Like wherein they give you account, they create account for you and all these things, and they send you like, hey, this is your temporary password. Once you log into it, then it asks you to change. All these are user managements, right? And
Yes.
so all those are all things. If an organization is using AWS, those are things that the engineers they do, right? So pretty much everything, like when just like your job, like when you see your job, all those applications and you do, there are engineers that are making sure that those applications are running efficiently. Those applications are like users are able to get the best experience. So that's what we are. So we are basically just learning how can how can I get a knowledge to know, like not just see things on the surface, but go into underneath the hood to know what is happening there. Because if let's say you finish this class and then you get a certification and then your chase say, hey, we want an engineer for AWS, or a solution architect, or a cloud practitioner, someone to help us with our migration to AWS, or we want to move this. So that's something that you can do, to migrate application from one platform to the other platform, or to go say, hey, our database is not working right now. Hey, Jordan, can you take a look? Like those are things that you can do, like database administration. So a lot of things, a lot of things. AWS is by far is the largest provider of cloud services, which means Many companies are using them. But the thing is, if you don't have any IT background, you do not understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because you don't know like what is happening under the hood. Yeah, so they should send you like a code. Did they send you a code?
I didn't get it though. I've been refreshing since. Is it supposed to come from the name here, Atlassian?
Yeah, Atlassian, yeah.
I
Maybe
didn't
check your junk folder.
Okay. Are we creating any other one today?
Yeah, so we still have time. So that one you can set up is the same setup. You didn't get a code?
No, I didn't. So I want to log in on my.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes it does that. Maybe take time. But that's not something that we have to worry about now, because we are not even going to come onto the second web. I would just like want us to install the main applications. So if you can go, let's get VS Code. So open a new browser and search for VS Code. And this one you can just leave it for now. When you get that code, then you can just complete the sign up.
VS Code.
Yep, VS Code, just like that. VS Code, CODE, like the first one. Yep. So here you can say, click on the second one that say Mac Linux. Yeah. So you are using Windows, right?
Yes, so Windows.
What operating system are you using? Are you using a 64-bit or 32-bit?
64.
Okay, so just select the one. Yeah, select that first one. Yeah. So it's gonna install that on your computer. Yeah, and then try to open it. Oh, just go to your downloads.
No,
Yeah, just X out of there. Yeah, just double click on it.
I guess that's not the right version.
Oh, that's not, so remove this one. So go to your computer. You say you are using 64 or 32?
It's 64-bit.
Okay, so go back, do your back arrow again.
Should it be this one? System installer.
Yeah, do the system installer. Just open it from the top there. Yep. Okay, hold on.
ARM 64.
Okay, so maybe try to do the 32 bit.
All of this is for
the other one. So you see the 32 arm, like on the right.
this one.
Yeah, select one of those 30, not the CLI one. Select that 64, the one that you click on the last one.
This one?
No, not this. That's the CLI one. Scroll down. Let me see. Okay, there's nothing up.
Let me try this one because I haven't tried this one.
Yeah, try the zip one. So for the zip, anytime you download the zip folder, you have to unzip it. So once it's finished downloading, go to your file explorer. So don't open it from over there. Close it from here. And then go inside your file explorer. And then, so you see right there, just click on it. and then click on extract all. And then, so again, if you want to save it in that location, then you can leave it there. But if you want to save it under your program file, usually the downloads, they will go under program files. So you can just click on browse and then you go to program files. But if you want to leave it there, just do extract. So guys, if you are watching, so we are just trying to install Visual Studio. So basically Visual Studio is a text editor. So it's one of the text editors that many companies use. You can use it for a lot of things, to write code, to develop applications. We are going to use it a lot. So if you attend the demo class I was doing, I was using VS Code. Jordan, did you attend any of the classes?
Yes, I did half of the class on Sunday.
Okay. So,
Daniel,
yes.
sorry, Jordan, the reason why that was not working was because the whole dependency in that VS Code was not patched in. So this one is going to work. This one that has the zip file.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. So guys, Solomon, thanks for that clarification. So if you are watching, make sure that you do the zip file. And when you do the zip file, you extract it. Okay, so Jordan, while this one is going, let's do, so we need to install Java. So go try to open that VS Code first. Let's see. Oh, it's okay. It's still going. Okay, so go to the browser and look for Java. Yeah, so Java wants the latest.
Is it this one?
So just say the download Java for Windows. Yep, that one. So we want to install like the latest, probably I think the 11 is which version is this one? Scroll down, let me see.
This is version 8.
Yeah, so we want to download the JDK 11. So instead of saying Java, just say JDK 11.
Is this it?
Yeah. Okay, scroll down, let me see. Go down, so it's giving you the specifications here. So for Linux, you want the Windows, go down, let me see. Okay, Windows 64 installer. So you see that one? Yeah. Probably do the zip file also. The second one. Yep. So download, acknowledge, and then download.
I think I need an Oracle account.
Yeah, so just put your email. Oracle is just one of, so some of the database we are going to be accessing. If you have that right now, it's going to be good for you because you don't have to worry about it. So just put your email and create an account for Oracle.
Mm-hmm.
So again, the instruction is right here.
What is job title?
Just put DevOps student or DevOps engineer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Company name?
And just put Cloud Skill Gateway. They'll ask you all those kind of questions.
They just want all our information all the time.
Yep. And the thing is, you won't pass through that unless you have to conform, unfortunately.
Okay, so Oracle sent me an email and I got it, but the other one didn't.
The big bucket.
Yes.
Yeah, don't worry about the big buckets. So all these ones that we are doing today are not really, I just want us to set up. Yeah.
Okay, so the Oracle is done.
Okay. Is the Java downloaded?
No.
Okay.
So looks like I got to go back, right?
Yeah. Yep. So now you got to log in.
Oh, wait, I forgot you said I shouldn't do that. So let me go.
Yeah. So with this one, also just extract. And just remember where this is. So again, hold on. So you see the part, this is what we call the file part, right? So you have C colon backslash. So that symbol that you see, it's called backslash. So it's saying that this file is going to be saved in your C drive, which is your home directory. In your home directory, that's where you see that backslash, right? Windows use backslash, not forward slash. So you have home on your C drive, you're gonna under home, you're under user, and then under your username, and then under download, and then JDK. That's where this application is gonna be. So this is gonna be important. It's important to know like the path of your the files that you do. So with Java and Terraform and other applications, their installation are gonna be different because we have to set up the environment variables. So you gotta remember that file path. So what I want us to do is, because this is going to be like a system application, so I want us to save this under program file. So click on browse and then click on C drive, go to C drive, scroll down, that one, PC, and then click on the C drive, double click on it, and then go to program, first one, that program files, click on that. Okay, and then just click on select folder. Okay, so you see it's going to be C drive, program files. That's where it's going to be. Click on extract. Continue. You will need to provide administrator, whatever. Yeah. So it's going to extract that. So while it's doing this, I want you to go to the browser again, look for Terraform. Like that, just like that. Yep. Download. Click on install. Click on that one, HashiCorp by HashiCorp. Yep. Scroll, look for, yeah, go down. So it say manually install. So just look for the one that say Windows. Or go up, go up. So you can use the command line, but you guys, I don't want to take you just to straight away to the command line. I have something we have to learn. Click on Windows. Select Windows. There's Windows. Oh no, go up. There's Windows. That's Mac. The next one. Yep. So for Windows, go down. So we can either do the the command line, or I don't want us to use the command line. Go down.
What about this? That's
Docker
not
desktop for Windows. No, don't worry about that one. That's another one that we're going to be doing. So it's just giving us code. I don't want us the code one. I want the installer. Go up. Maybe change the search name. Just say install. Just click on that one, install. Did you like install up? Yeah.
That's where it is right now.
That's where it is. Okay.
And
okay.
I changed this to Windows.
Yep, change it to Windows. So guys, if you are watching, if you just click on install and then you can select your operating system. So on the left here, Jordan, that's the operating system. You have Mac OS, Windows, Linux. So you have 64. So select the 64.
And download, right?
Yep. And download again. So this one it doesn't come with a zip file. Or it's a zip file also. So go do the same thing that you did for Java. So the Java is still going, do the same. Hey, Solomon. Solomon, are you there?
Yes,
Hey,
yeah.
can you check that blog? I think I added you to the classroom, so you should have access. Can you check that blog? I want us to get that material. I put it somewhere, but I can't find it. To set up I thought it was this, to set up like the environment variables.
Okay, the environment variables. I know that. So let me see if I still have mine. Let me go through mine. I can copy from mine.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I have mine also.
Environment variable.
Okay, has it been extracted?
I'm not sure if it's done yet, but
yeah. So if you don't see it, maybe it's done. So okay, all right. So that's just one step. So this one is still going. That is JDK. I think Terraform is done. So for that, I want you to search on your search bar, not on the browser, but on your computer search bar. I want you go down. No, go down on the task bar. You see that where it says search, or click on your Windows thing. Okay, so type.
Okay, then I'll copy it and put on a chat.
Okay.
I copied from my own.
Okay. So search for ENV. ENV. So that's just stand for environment variable, Jordan.
okay.
EN, not M. EN, N as in Nancy. Just hit enter. Okay, so from this screen here, you go to, you see at the bottom, I say environment variables. Click on that at the bottom. Yep, that one. Okay, so from here, we are going to add on these two sides. So we are going to add on the system variable, and then we are going to add on the user variable. But first, let's add for environment variable. So we need to add these ones, because if we don't, then it might end up with, it might not work. So I'm thinking we only have 8 minutes left.
Check your WhatsApp. I just put it.
Okay. So let's fix this one first. Let's stop for here for today. So you can just close this one. Let's stop. We only have 8 minutes, so we can continue where we stopped today. Okay.
Okay.
So you have Terraform, you have Java. We just need to set up the environment variables. Right now, you cannot use them. Can you try to open like VS Code?
This one?
Yep, double click on it. Just click yes.
This one is the wrong one that I did. Let me delete
What
it.
is the, remove that. Where is the right one?
It should be this one.
Okay, so go inside that binaries.
This one?
Yeah, go inside there.
Yes.
Yeah, double click on that. Run. What did you see? Did
No,
they give you anything?
no, nothing.
Okay, so we'll take a look at that tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
So today we created the AWS accounts. Can you open that browser?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So we created the AWS account, the free tier account. We created GitHub account, and then we attempted to create the Bitbucket. Downloaded VS Code, install Terraform, Java. So tomorrow, when we come, we will look at, like, we'll set up the environment variable and we'll make sure that we the AWS will try to figure, I mean, your VS Code is working properly. So
Okay.
so we'll stop here for today, but I'm gonna leave this 5 minutes for questions. If you guys have questions or any queries, so I'll stop the recording from here, and then just receive questions. Okay.
Okay. Don't forget to add me to the
I will add you. I will add you. So any question?
No, nothing else for today.
Okay, so if you were to rate this session today, how would you rate it?
-5. I'm kidding. Between 1 to 10, I'll give it a solid 9.
Okay.
And 9 because I wish that I had some information ahead of time so I can read.
Yes.
I like to be like 1 or 2 steps ahead just for my own.
Yes.
I'm very inquisitive, so but basically that's it. But it was a good class. I kind of like opened my mind to what I'm about to start learning in terms of AWS. I never thought about it like the way that you explained it. I never thought that, all those SaaS. I've heard of SaaS before, but PaaS and IaaS, I've never heard of those.
Mm-hmm. And
Now I understand what a server or cloud kind of mean because
mm-hmm.
it sounded like Greek to me before, but you explained that. I now understand what it means. And apparently we all use cloud every day. So
Yep, everybody, even people, especially in this digital world,
yes.
like, these are things that are not, they are not like before. It used to be like a luxury. You have to be high tech, you have to have all this money. But the thing is, the way the world is going, the 21st century now, you don't have to be rich for you to access the cloud, right? Because many people, unless people maybe in my village, some people, not even, only like maybe old people are not using cell phone. But pretty much we've moved from that age where when people are not using cell phone. But as long as people are using cell phone, they are interacting with the cloud. You are using emails, you are using maybe Zoom communication, even WhatsApp, So these are all like cloud services that you provide. So on WhatsApp, in fact, you will tell you that you see WhatsApp, like sometimes the message will say your message is encrypted end to end. So
Yes.
That's really the cloud. That's the beauty of the cloud. WhatsApp is a cloud service. It's a cloud stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so just know that you are using cloud services every day. Actually, if you are using the US, you are using it every day and night.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great job.
So
Thank
the
you.
assignment is go do some reading from now to tomorrow if you have time, and then come up with questions if you have questions regarding what we've covered today. So tomorrow the plan is we'll continue with the installations tomorrow. We'll make sure we install as much as we can. And then we'll dive into the AWS. We'll talk about billing, right? So from billing, we'll talk about like security. That account that you created, I don't want you to use it that way. I want us to secure it so that it is personalized, so that it is only you unless you give access to someone else. Because since you were sharing your screen, now there were only few of us here. But sometimes some people, you don't know what people are doing when you are sharing a screen. They take screenshots of your stuff, So I want to make sure that like your
It
account.
happened to me.
Yeah, Mercy talks about that, right? So someone will take, like, this is a class, I cannot prevent that. I cannot prevent, like, a lot of people are reaching out to me from India and all there. I cannot prevent, like, I don't know who is gonna, today there are only a few people show up, maybe tomorrow people are gonna show up. So I don't know whether we'll have like criminals here or not. So I want people to be very conscious. Like when you share your screen, make sure like the browser, don't leave, like if you have your bank account, you've opened your account, your bank account, it's there. Make sure you minimize that particular part. Only share the things that I want you to share. So for AWS, I'm going to help you with like they call it MFA, multi-factor authentications. I'm going to help you set up that, right? So what I want you to do for that, in preparation for tomorrow, I want you to look up MFA. So I have this, they call Google Authenticator. That's what myself I use. If you type on the browser, you say Google Authenticator. I want you to download that app on your phone because you are going to need that tomorrow when we start setting up MFA. That's the first security checkpoint I'm going to have you do before we do anything. The first security point. In fact, tomorrow when we come, that will be one of the first things that we're going to do to install. I want you to install the MFA. Mercy, for you guys that are here and for those that are not here for this session, I want everybody to install MFA on your phone. It's just the same as Google Authenticator. So this one is called Authenticator. So can you search Authenticator real quick? Just say Authenticator.
I already got it.
You already got it?
I just downloaded it now as you're talking.
Good job. Good job. I love that. I love your proactiveness. Yeah. So it's important to do these things. Even though this is going to be like for demonstration purposes, we're not going to be doing any live, like hosting application forever here, but you still want to make sure that it is secure, best practice, so that when you are going to show up to your agency, say, hey, I've learned this skill. I feel like I need to be in this position in this company. This is what I can do, You can have something to prove to them, to show to them that you know what you are talking about. So yes. Install that, and then we can take it from that tomorrow, okay? Solomon, do you have anything for them?
No, nothing for them. Jordan is doing very great.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing very great. If we continue like this, it's just going to be as good as what we think he's going to be.
Yep. So I like Jordan. Don't keep up with what you are doing. Mercy, you were quiet today. Some people have different learning abilities. Some people just listen to absorb the information. Whatever your learning style is, I just want you to be present. I want you to be here. I want you to make sure that you are actually, because like you guys are going to be making me look good. If you do well in this class, you are going to be making Cloud Scale Gateway look good, because you guys are going to be disseminating this information to people. I don't want to give you the wrong information. If I tell you anything that's wrong, when I come the next slide, I will tell you, hey, what I told you yesterday was not correct. Okay?
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah, Daniel, I said the Google one because I saw Google one, I saw Microsoft, and I saw. So, which one are we downloading, please?
Which one?
The Google.
The app I asked you to download.
Yes, please.
So just don't do the Google. Just say Authenticator.
Okay, Authenticator app. That's it should tick. Correct.
Yeah, Jordan, can you just type it? Can you just type on the browser here and just do images so she can see.
Thank you.
Images of what?
So just type authenticator.
Oh,
Just search that one.
I think it's this one.
So that one is the Google one. I don't know if the Google one is gonna work. Scroll down, Jordan. Can you go up? Hold on. Go down. So the one that I have, go down a little bit. Go down.
Daniel, the one that I have is Microsoft.
Microsoft.
Yeah,
so I think anyone will work.
Okay.
Because what you have to do is just have to add the AWS to it, right?
Okay.
So for now, if it doesn't work, can you click on images, like the images, like at the So scroll down. I just want to show you the one that I have. Go down. I think I have
Authenticator app. That's what is showing here.
Yeah. So if it should, just install the one that is showing you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I have 3 that is showing here, which is the Microsoft, Google. Then I have the authenticator itself. Then, yeah.
So
then
just install the authenticator or the Microsoft. Solomon said he's using the Microsoft one. I have both the authenticator and then I have. You can use the Google app also. Yeah. So anyone just install it. If it doesn't work, then we can.
The Microsoft one is working across board.
Okay.
And it's working with my iOS, and it's also working with Google and also every other authentication platform.
Okay. Yeah. So just install that one.
Okay.
And anyone that works for the OS that your phone is using is fine.
Okay. And then also, please, Daniel, this recording, are we having it today or when are we having it?
Yes. Once we are done, Zoom is gonna do its thing, and then I will upload it. So I'm gonna add Messi. You are in the class, right? I already added you, right?
Okay, thank you.
I think I added you, so I'm gonna add you, Jordan. I will add the recording. I didn't even stop it. I'm gonna stop it now so it can start.